Archons. The Archon is defined as a false king of tyranny ruler that controls through mask of deception promoted through warring technologies abuse, such as mind control, frequency implants, and military strategies, and can be applied to human or non human alien sources. It is both the military human and the non humans' shared greed for domination, of which they both employ hidden advanced frequency technologies designed to perpetuate and promote the archonic deception strategy of the negative alien agenda. The archonic deception and its patriarchal oligarchy stems mostly from the reptilian and draconian races from the Orion constellation. Together, they are called the Orion Group.
The Negative Alien Agenda, NAA, or the Negative Alien Archons Group. The Negative Alien Agenda is a multi species controller agenda that, through imposing false replicated time fields using bio-warfare technology such as holographic inserts, AI, and mind control, that was namely created under genetically reptilian-based Archon extraterrestrials at the expense and life force of the human race and the kingdoms that are under the human domain. The negative aliens. They're extra dimensional and interdimensional beings that have lost their consciousness connection to the God source and are utilizing humans and other beings as their food source. They are siphoning the life force like a parasite to live for thousands of years. They do not have access to incarnate into human bodies, so they covet human bodies and they want to take them over or use them in the future. They do not have emotions as humans have, but they are highly intelligent as they are working on a higher mind principle than the humans are. It's called the 3 layers of ego. They are similar to a mad scientist that manipulates and genetically modifies human beings, similarly as a farmer interested in gaining more resources out of his herd of cattle on the farm. They consider humans an investment in their energy resource portfolio. The NAA can best be understood as a psychopathic or sociopathic personality or identity profile with a lack of empathy that has no feelings or remorse and no caring towards human beings. They regard humans as being inferior, stupid, and many times use forms of mockery to create intentional harm for their own amusement. These beings have been manipulating the human world of affairs for thousands and thousands of years, since the Atlantean cataclysm, for their own purposes. They are interdimensional and extra-dimensional and are known as the fallen angelics in ancient history. They use many technological manipulation methods to mind control and negatively manipulate the future direction of the human race. One such negative manipulation is installing the Armageddon software into the planetary brain in order to install the false father negative alien religions that are based on serving the Yahweh and Jehovah Anunnaki collectives.
Reptilian hierarchy. Extraterrestrials that are hybridized with reptilian based genetics operate in strict hierarchical systems of rank and defer to their superior groups. The Dracos, or Draconians, from Alpha Draconis are in command of Earth based subterranean reptilians who respect their superiors in the belief system that the Dracs are those who hold the ownership over the Earth and the human beings. Draco reptilians view themselves as the most intelligent species in the universe, and that Earth humans are the result of their biological seeding processes from multiple planets. The Alpha Draconis Draco have a royal class that appears to be of lighter colors, white skin, scales with winged appendages, and are about 2 to 3 times the size of an average human. They're very muscular and quite menacing. Tyrannical, they show very little mercy to an entity of their own race that they think has defied their orders or responsibilities to manage their earthly resources. Earth based reptilians appear to be in command over EBEs, or biological entities, known as the small greys. The reptilians have developed high psionic abilities, which they use for mind control on other entities, and they do not have an emotional body or a soul body. The known reptilian races on Earth appear to have made a variety of cooperative agreements with the higher ranks of the human government and military, which have resulted in shadow government black projects such as the Secret Space Program, 20 and Back, and My Labs, and the creation of the military industrial complex to experiment and exploit alien based technologies and craft that they have been given access to through their cooperation. Dracs are extremely militant, misogynistic, and warring species that are very involved in the controlling of the power elite, financial, pharmaceutical, and banking institutions. They love to promote war, they like killing, through increasing their militarization, poverty consciousness, human enslavement programming, religious violence, terrorism, and the harvesting of humanity's DNA through abduction and experimentation, as well as other species that they have under their control. The Seraphim lineage is one of the original founder primal sound fields of the Gold Ray Order, which encompasses the seraph lineage, of which would be called the winged ones, in terms of avian genetic bird beings, or the angelic seraphim. They are an extension of the family entity of Ra in the 14th dimension, from the next universe through the Andromeda Galaxy, the seven higher heavens which live within the practices of the law of one. Okay. The seraphim had their own schism and enslavement issues, having been intricately involved with the creation of the planet Earth and involved with its many timelines and histories of the evolution of the human race. As the seraphim races committed to help humanity evolve from the lower creational realm of 3D, they experience their consciousness descending rapidly, to which is a result of the fallen angelic fragmented mind matrix. The seraphim were a part of the original creators of the divine human species prototype that were genetically designed with the potential to evolve into an embodied Christos consciousness. Their energy signature and imprint is certainly a part of all of us as human beings and part of the planet Earth collective consciousness. One of the things that the Seraphs did many moons ago in the human evolution experiment is actually create a Lie line and accitonal lines grid system on the Earth. The Seraphim became the guardians of the Earth to protect the horizontal shields and their timelines until the humans could evolve to such a level to become the guardians of Earth themselves. This was done in a grid or Lie line consciousness and ray structure that is referred to as the Golden Eagle Pylon Network, or the Golden Eagle Grid. This was actually a creation of the collective Guardian founder races, of which the Guardian Seraphim and Avian races became, through this grid known as the Golden Eagle Grid, the guardians of the horizontals. The horizontal Lie lines are a network that create the clock shield template instructions that directly control the consciousness movement through time and space, as a linear experience and therefore are related to the morphogenic field that creates horizontal timelines in many dimensions. Through the fall of our experience, the seraphim also fell in their own experience and were polarized in their own negative form, of which shadow elements of themselves came to be distorted creations of their perfection. This is what is known as the fallen angelics, which also interconnect with multiple hierarchies down into the demonic races and even the Watchers. What they are showing us here today is that the fallen angelics became distorted negative forms of the mind and consciousness of the original perfection of the seraphim. Demons or fallen angelics are a part of the human and non human collective consciousness on the earth and exist as energetic interplay between human beings that were designed to manifest the required polarities that are necessary for manifestation in the material realms. In this density of the earth, counterbalance points were required for the evolutionary process of synthesis of these main polarities through the three main sets of forces. However, many of these forces have been abused through the hidden NAA or negative alien agenda invasion histories and have created severe chasms and destruction. Now, during the Atlantean cataclysm and what is known as the Luciferian Rebellion, about 26,000 to 30,000 years ago, was when the planetary stargates, the planetary grids and ley lines became controlled by the NAA, controlling races such as the reptilians, the Anunnaki, the Alpha Draconis Orion group Draconians, and this golden eagle grid became, during this time, under the control of these beings who used these collective consciousness grids for reversed purposes of malintent designed for the negative alien agenda and the false gods who were the opposite from their original purpose. So, in the last 26,000 years, the Golden Eagle Grid became controlled and was primarily used as a mind controlled broadcast station. Literally, that they would send out false information or manipulated information to the mass human population. One purpose in the Iran Gate is to send out false king of tyranny, patriarchal domination, mind control through the Archangel Michael Matrix Collective. It was sending out information that was about the program that the Anunnaki had come up with to continue to plummet humanity into the false timelines, of which is one of darkness, enslavement, and separation, using software called Armageddon software. It's a Metatronic reversal, and they also use the victim victimizer program. The Golden Eagle Grid literally became like a mind control weapon because that is what they've been using it for. It had been reclaimed back a few years ago in terms of the Guardian founder races who were working to rehabilitate the places of the fallen consciousness grids, fallen angelic mind matrix, and override the patriarchal mind control through the Solomon Shield and activation of the Mother Ark hubs. The fallen angelics to counteract and destroy the Christiatic human guardian race for control and domination of this time vector in this universal time matrix. These are also called the sons of Belial or the Belial. The main groups of negative aliens are the Anunnaki, Draconians, Zetas, and Necromitans that source out of the Phantom Matrix parallel systems that formed alliances with the fallen angelic Anunnaki groups to try and take over the Earth. These groups use technology to open wormholes that were blended together to create enough power to try to pull the Earth body into the black hole system, leading into the Phantom Matrix, where they exist and then they could gain total control over the planet and humanity. The parallel system of which these entities came from is called the Wisa system. This is a universal time matrix, and its parallel of which many of the Anunnaki and their hybrids originate from the Wisdak system, while the draconian species are coming from the antiparticle universe called the Wisdrak system. They join together to run energetic reversals in that planet in order to realign the Earth with their systems through those wormholes and black hole system that they created. They joined with the fallen angelics to counteract and destroy the Christiatic human guardian race for control and domination of this time vector in the universal time matrix. The reptile insectoid collective has dragon moths from Orion's black hole system, necromitan beetle hominids, and the men in black from Nibiru, Marduk Omicron from Alpha Centauri, centaur hybrids from Omega Centauri, and Zeta from Rigel, and Zeta Draconian agendas. They have Zetas Reticulites also. Fallen angelic Anunnaki groups. The Alpha Omega Order of the Templar Melchizedeks, Fallen Seraphim. Semyazi Anunnaki from Pleiades, and Alcyon. Jehovian Anunnaki from Sirius A, designers of the crucifixion implant network on Earth. Thoth, Enki, and Enlil collectives from Nibiru and Sirius A. Marduk, Necromitan, Enlil, Odedicron alliance.
with Nibiru.
And then we have Michael family, Nephilim hybrids, and they're talking about the Archangel Michael, but it's not really him. It's cloned Michael bodies of the Anunnaki hybrids from Orion, Sirius, and Andromeda. Wow. Anunnaki. From ancient scriptures, there are a race of extraterrestrials from a planet called Nibiru. They are being depicted as gods or deities in ancient Mesopotamia and Egypt. From our energetic work, we can see them as part of the negative alien forces that form the negative alien agenda, that have manipulated the human race for the last thousands of years and are still working on their negative agendas for human enslavement through mind control and other techniques. They have their main control center in the United Kingdom and are controlling many planetary grid networks on Earth, including the NRG. The Anunnaki are a root race that formed from the Sirian constellation evolution cycles and are a result of the reptilian hybridization with Sirians. As such, Sirians have a genetic history and karmic relationship to the Anunnaki, and many feel a responsibility to help heal the Anunnaki manipulation and the false king of tyranny control over the earth. The Anunnaki are majorly involved with the Dracs, or the Orion group, in the cooperative control over earthly affairs. And their respective groups have made agreements on their jurisdiction and the demographic areas of where they exert control over the Earth grid system. Jehovian Anunnaki are responsible for promoting and transmitting fundamental religious mind control through the Armageddon software, and they use SRA methods like us, satanic ritual abuse methods, to reinforce religious violence, patriarchal domination, and misogyny throughout the human masses. They were instrumental in establishing an intruder resistance known as the NAA,
or negative alien agenda to invite more negative alien groups to stake their claim over the human population with the promise that humans could be bartered for slavery or taken to their planet as workers and pets at some time at the end of the Ascension cycle. This NAA was established in order to more effectively take over the earth and share in the spoils of war, to help exert control over the increasing population of humans on the earth and the astral plane. These two groups do not always get along. They infight, they argue, they have arguments about how to influence world affairs and control human evolution. There's infighting in between subgroups that are competing for control over the earth. Anunnaki entities are extra dimensional, shape shifting consciousness that project their consciousness into the type of body that they wish to control in whatever domain they enter, or that has been designed as a biological drone or body that is specific to their functions, role, and rank in their society. The Anunnaki entities that have the highest ranks in their hierarchical society have the access to the most elite forms of genetically engineered bodies, while those lower in rank have bodies that perform less functions and are limited to the function of their job position. Hence, it is especially the lower ranking Anunnaki that covet human bodies for their variety in physical functioning. They are known to take a variety of body shapes and biological forms via consciousness projection between bodies.
Sun Draconian Agenda. They are the masterminds of the Council of Nicaea in the Church of Rome, the Cathar Essene Crusades, and the Human Holocaust. They are Zeta Zephilium, back treaties with military industrial complexes, and they do human abductions. Zeta and Draconians created an alliance for the One World Order transhuman objectives. Target Christos lines for extermination behind global health mafia, pharma, and vaccines. The Black Sun Draconian agenda also litters our skies with chemtrails and geoengineering for terraforming for their preferred race line. They have a parallel AI built on base to template top of the chain in 10th dimensional Pluto matrix. They have a war bloodlust with biological extermination, child SRA, and adrenochrome being their priority. They have severe digression into violent depravity. Some defected from the Black Sun to the Belial Sun. The Dragon Moth, the Draco Anunnaki, Negromitan, the Zeta Dragonian, the Tall Whites, the Nordics, the Marduk, the Omicron, and the Satanic all fall under the Black Sun Draconia agenda.
Alright, guys, that's it for this one. We will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. And please don't forget to hit that like button. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.